Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. Hope you're feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach. I'm a self-esteem development expert. I'm somebody who's here to help you go further, faster, with less effort. I hope you're feeling good this morning. I know I am. Today we're going to keep on talking about $1 million ideas and how to knock them joints out. It says part 2, but this is part 2 of part 2. So we're going to get this party going. What's up with you, Chris? Good morning, Queen. Can't wait to check in with you later today. We got some good stuff to check in about. It's Wednesday, so of course we got Obsessed with Success in the house tonight. My man TJD is in this house. My man Terrence Dunston is in the building. It's so funny. I got an incredible screenshot to share with you, TJ. All right, Mr. Terry, how we feeling, brother? Good morning. Good morning. Let them know we in the house, y'all. We about to get this party started. That's right, Atlanta, Georgia, up in here. Yeah, I hear you. Let them know. We got YouTube checking in. Okay, all right. Latanya, what's up? The Hall of Fame city. I love that. Yeah. Allie, what's up, Allie? Okay then. Wilmington in here. How's the week been going so far? We halfway through this thing, baby. Can you believe that? We already half through a whole nother week, y'all. You gotta love it. Make sure you check in, let them know where we at. If you haven't done that yet, rep your city. Let them know what kind of business you have, how you help the world, how you help people, you know? Thing about this life right here, man, you're never gonna like everything about what it is you're doing. Does that make sense? You're never gonna like everything about what it is you're doing. But what you can do is keep doing something. You know, it's one of those things where it's just no way to lose if you keep on doing something. You know, work always works because it works on two different things. There's the work you do on a project, and then there's the work that project does on you. Does that make sense? You know, work always works because it's the work you're doing on the project, but then it's the work that project is doing on you. Can I get a witness? Hey, let them know we in the house, y'all. I'm about to call in on this live line because y'all ain't here for my DJing. You know what I mean? All right, let's get it.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the...
All right, let's get it.
Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
I know there's like, where you at? I'm right here. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you feel incredible this morning. What's up, Trisha? Trisha checking in. Hey, never late is better late than never, even though never late is better. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're in the house this morning. I'm glad we could all be here today. How good does it feel to know this could be the best Wednesday you've ever lived on planet Earth? Isn't that a heck of a feeling? You have no idea who you can meet today. You have no idea what kind of idea that you could get today. You have no idea what kind of resource could make itself known today. This could be the day that changes everything. Is that an amazing feeling? A lot of people use all of their power, all of their faith, all of their ability to imagine to conjure the worst case scenario. What if you decide to use that power to move in forward instead of reverse? What would that do for your life, millionaire? Because like I was saying, you know, the brain don't work off pressure. The brain works off stimulation. You know, I think it was 2 days ago now that we started on part 2 of this $1 million idea thing. And we talked about how you could systemize something popular and turn it into a product. I think we talked a little bit about Dell and, Alienware and a bunch of these other companies that really didn't have no business except helping you put together a computer. You know, all they did was put together IBM compatible personal computers, but they didn't create none of the parts. You get what I mean? Billion-dollar companies. We talk about million-dollar ideas. That was a billion-dollar idea. Then we talked about playing with opposites a little bit. You guys remember this? We talked about how, hey, Michelle, we talked about how, you had Tumblr come out and Twitter come out, because on the other side of it, you had WordPress drop. You had a Blogger drop, which were these things that became all the rage because suddenly anyone could be a journalist and you could share your thoughts and your travels and your experiences with the world. Well, once that became so big, somebody came in and decided to play with the opposite of that. When something becomes extremely popular, the opposite a lot of times also becomes extremely popular because people hate feeling like they're one of the crowd. There are personality types out here that hate feeling like a sheep. And so when everybody's saying that this is what's hot, they go and find the exact opposite thing. What can you do to leverage that? Think about that. I know when the industry is going really, really, really automated, me and mine are going with the opposite. Like if you're in the millionaire minded family, if you're in the Kaizen Academy, then you're going the opposite of just supreme automation, and you're getting more personal with your clients. You're having more meaningful conversation rather than just doing it all in a digital space, aren't you? Isn't that interesting? So what we did was play with opposites. Then after that, we talked about looking for problems and solving them. That's pretty self-explanatory. We touched on that a little bit. We talked about how there are business owners who are losing profits right now. There are dog owners who don't know what to do because their pup gets sick, right? Right now, there's a golfer or a basketball player trying to work on their a shot. And when you decide that, man, I just recognize I know how to help people with that particular problem, you can make millions easily. Never forget, even as I give you today's stuff, right? Don't forget that $1,000 times 1,000 people is $1 million. That's every day of the week. It's just not as hard as we've been taught to create this $1 million, to become a millionaire. I don't want you to keep thinking of it like it's a big thing. I want you to start thinking of it like it's an inevitable result of some of the processes we're going to institute. So let's go ahead and get this party started. I'm going to give you 5 more of them today. Jot these in your notes. This is going to be just new ways to think about it. Because the other stuff that we covered yesterday was designing new products that support other successful products. We talked about how somebody made millions and millions of dollars off just making cases for the iPad, making cases for the iPhone. Somebody made millions of dollars just making cases for there are people making millions of dollars just because they mount the TV, or they make the brackets to mount the flat screen televisions. Think about that, y'all. Somebody's making millions of dollars just because they make not all the technology that goes into the television and making it look ultra realistic. All they do is make the bar, okay, that goes from the back of the TV to the wall, and they're making millions of dollars. Do you get? We talked about keeping it simple. Yeah, Michael Joe, I'm glad you made it in. You and wifey are living proof of the idea that you can just think out an idea and support your whole family with it. Shouts out to the Wilsons. Well, shouts out to the Joe family. No, it's the Wilson family, right? You got to help me out, Mike. All right. So we're going to get started with today's stuff. I gave you a bunch of stuff from the recap. I ain't even go through recap in the first 10 because, really what I'm doing is giving you 16 through 20. Ain't that cool? All right, let's get it. All right, so here's one thing that I want you to think about this morning. Number 6, you can call it. Millionaires, exploit the resources and the skills you already have. Exploit the resources and the skills you already have. Have you ever considered doing that? Have you ever considered taking yourself through a list of what you're good at? You know, we always talk about doing this when you're just looking to create more abundance in your life, create more gratitude. Millionaires, it ain't so much that you ain't got the right resources as you're not being resourceful. In all things, sequence matters. In all things, sequence matters. So you may confuse yourself with not having what you need for step 10 when you have everything you need for step 1 and 2. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's like we forget that all you need to see is just the space in front of you. Like if I start out to drive for California and I'm driving at night, I cut on my headlamps, okay? And at the end of the day, I can't see all the way to California, but I can see the next couple of feet. I can see there's no potholes right here. I can see the road turns to the left so I don't drive off into the woods. You get what I mean? I can see the next few feet. And then once I get there, it's going to show me the next few feet. And then once I get there, it's going to show me the next few feet. Then once I get there, it's going to show me the next few feet. Does that, you know, I was playing Stevie Wonder yesterday. I want you to think about Stevie Wonder. No, I guess that was a couple of days ago when we last went live. But think about how this man couldn't see. And so he exploited instead his sense of hearing, right? And he turned that into a passion for music. Okay. And now he has 25 Grammys. What are you really good at? How are you exploiting it? Some of you are really good at telling stories, and yet you never go live and tell stories about your business. Some of you are really good at collecting data, and yet you haven't taken the time to plot out an entire plan for your week. Some of you really, really, really love to help people, but you're joining no organizations that can help you to increase your impact. I want you to think about this. Some of you are really, really, really good at leadership, and you waste it on being bad influences at work. You waste your leadership skill on corrupting people, right? And getting your job, feeling that sense of power as you destroy somebody's life, instead of you grabbing them up and being all you can be in the best way possible. What I'm saying to you is that if you're looking for $1 million idea, sometimes it's just in the exploitation of the resources and skills you already have. If that makes sense to you, somebody give me a number 7 and a share. I got 3 more for you, and then we're going to get out of here. I got 3 more for you, and then we gone. Your number 7 and a share. Y'all with me? As in all things, sequence matters. As in all things, sequence matters. You ready? Yeah, let's get it. Here's number 7. Millionaires, what if you take it to the level where you surround yourself with other thinkers? Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Surround yourself with other thinkers. That's number 7. Surround yourself with other thinkers. Like, I love being around millionaire minded. I love the Kaizenites, you know. I love the leadership circle that we have, what we call our LAT, you know, and our financial services thing. And it's amazing because sometimes, like, I remember yesterday we had this meeting and we were just all talking about, you know, how we have consumer financing. Some of you know, some of you don't. But, you know, some of you have big ticket items. We're now able to help you have a no money down program, right? So now you get your money in 2 to 3 days. Your full $5,000 or $10,000. It goes all the way up to $50,000. Your full $1,000, right? In 2 to 3 days, but they don't even make a payment for 30 days. So we were brainstorming, just like, man, you know, what are some other ways we can use this? Or did anybody have any questions? Anybody have any thoughts? Man, next thing you know, my man Earl come through with I was talking to my homegirl. She's a visual artist. She sells her paintings for a couple $1,000s each. I was like, bling. I was like, oh, snap. Visual artists need consumer financing. And I added that to my list. right along with people that do elective surgery, right along with dentists, right along with veterinarians, right along with landscapers. Like my man Michael Joe might pull a tree stump out somebody's yard. That might normally cost the homeowner $10,000. But now he gets to give them a plan where they just pay $100 a month. They can pay it off early if they want, but he gets his full $10,000 right away. So I'd already had stuff like landscapers down. I'd already had cosmetic surgeons down, I already had dentists and veterinarians, but he gave me, and that's from surrounding yourself with other thinkers. What I'm saying is sometimes you got to jump in there and do that with intention. If I don't ask that question, Earl don't even give that idea and the group don't even benefit. That's why I'm so excited about those of you that jump in and ask questions when we got Q&A time. I'm so excited about those of you who jump in and take notes, because your notes and putting them in the comment section, it sparks other people's ideas. You might not change the world today, but you might spark somebody else's mind that comes up with the idea that does it. The brain don't work off pressure. The brain works off stimulation. And so what you're looking to do, y'all, is you're looking to create a world where you are as stimulated as possible, where you're stepping outside your comfort zone as much as possible, where you're doing something that scares you as much as possible. And one way to do that is to surround yourself with others who normalize that level of thinking. It's like a shortcut. Man, I can't say enough about proximity being power. We serious about that. But you're the sum of the people you spend the most time with, y'all. If you hang out with the wrong people, they're going to affect you negatively. If you hang out with the right people, you will be more capable. You will be more powerful than you ever could have been by yourself. Do you hear me? Find your tribe. Put out your vibe and attract your tribe. Your vibe always attracts your tribe. Do you hear me? Find your tribe. Collaborate with them. Do it with intention. Now, I'm going to tell you how this whole thing of ours started. It started with like a crew that me and a couple of my homies had. Really, me and one of my best friends started the crew. Next thing you know, this person joined, this person joined, this person joined. Next thing you know, Mr. Rico McCambry's personal assistant joined our crew. And she's like, oh, you got to meet this guy, Mr. McCambry, et cetera, so forth. Y'all would make incredible part. She foretold this, And then when we linked up, it was like 12, 13 other people involved. They're all gone now. It's just me and it, but it all came from surrounding myself with other thinkers with intention, y'all. Bounce ideas off each other. Observe each other's strengths. Observe each other's weaknesses. Observe what makes each other come alive. Observe what turns each other up. Do you get what I'm saying? It's invaluable. Those of you that are doing the 90-day challenge, right? Demita, right? Ali, right? Everybody is doing the 90-day challenge. They know we got this business banquet thing. Yeah, LaTanya, you need to come on back home, Queen. We've been doing this business banquet thing starting this month. So everybody's planning out these events, because you got people that won't get on a training call. You got people that won't show up to Good Morning Millionaire. You got people that won't go to some training workshop. Like this big thing that we're doing in September in New York City. I cannot wait till Labor Day weekend. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, reach out to me so you can get involved. Come party with us and learn a lot, learn more so you can earn more. But anyway, what's crazy, right, is that if you will just put yourself into a different mind frame, right, where you can just start throwing little events in your city, inviting people out to have a good meal. You ain't got to pay for everybody's meal. Just invite them all out. Do your inner circle meeting live. Let everybody share while they eating, while they breaking bread. Let everybody get fly, come out fresh. Let people bring their spouses so they can get a feel for this thing of ours. Surround yourself with other thinkers. Can I get a witness? If that makes sense, give me a share. Give me a share. And somebody give me business banquet in the comments. Business banquet. Have a little party for your crew, man. Like, have a get together. Surround yourself with other thinkers. And that leads us to number 8. Everybody ready? If you're ready, give it to me in the comments and let's go. Man, talk to him, shiz. Talk to him, shiz. Yeah, September in New York. You better believe it. Demeter got her tickets already. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, business bank, but let's get it. All right, here's number 8. Let me tell you what this is going to do. It's going to get you enthusiastic about what you're doing. That's number 8. You got to be enthusiastic. I can't say enough about enthusiasm. I can't say enough about how, do you know even the root word of enthusiasm gives you a clue to how powerful, you know how you always hear people say, the world is more impressed by the depth of your enthusiasm than the width of your knowledge. Everybody heard that one before, right? Everybody heard that one before. The world is more impressed by the width, the depth of your enthusiasm than the width of your knowledge. What does that mean? That means for some reason, when we're enthusiastic, it turns other people up. For some reason, enthusiasm is contagious, y'all. Enthusiasm is also the lifeblood of creativity. You know how I'm always saying creativity is next to godliness? Creativity is next to godliness. Well, check it out. When you're enthusiastic, you cut on your creativity. And there's a clue in the word. Enthusiasm comes from the Greek word entheos, which means the God within. You know, entheos, like theology. You know, when somebody studies theology, what are they studying, right? So entheos, it's the God within. Millionaires, when you turn up, you click on the God force, not just in yourself, but in other people. And it's nearly impossible for you to get out here and pioneer something groundbreaking if you don't have passionate intensity, if you're not thinking about it, if it don't keep you up at night. Turn on your enthusiasm, millionaires. When your mind is stimulated by a fundamental curiosity, when you have a fundamental interest in the subject, your creativity is going to run rampant. So when you're really hype about something, pursue that. Pull that string. The brain doesn't work off pressure. The brain works off stimulation. And sometimes what you need is a little more intention on what it is that God has given you these signals you're good at. You see how I use a bunch of different personality types, and I talked about how to turn yourself up in each of those areas. That's why in meaningful conversation, it's so important to understand their personality type. You hear me, Shiz? It's so important to understand their personality type. You hear me, Simone? Because at the end of the day, if I'm supposed to leave knowing what to care about, you know, if at the end of the day I'm saying nobody cares how much you know till they know how much you care, they supposed to leave knowing I care. I'm supposed to leave knowing what to care about. How do I know what to care about if I don't know their personality type? Can you tell me that? Because if I talk to a spring about money, I'm going to lose them. All I'm saying is there's a lot of power in getting together and understanding each other, y'all. Love ain't nothing but the highest form of understanding. You hear me? Here's number 9. Accept constructive criticism, but ignore haters. You hear me? Ignore haters. Yeah. Tell them shit. Women that win is up next, but woo, man, Communication Pro change your life. Come on, man. Not knowing is kind of selfish at the end of the day. Nobody cares how much you know till they know how much you care. But here's what you got to remember about number 9. Millionaires. When somebody is spewing all this negativity about your idea, your product, remember, they're sharing with you how they feel about themselves. It don't matter how many people don't get it. It matters how many people do. You hear me? No matter how much progress you make, millionaire, no matter how fast you move, there are always going to be people who insist that whatever you try and do is impossible, and everybody knows that. Millionaires, we're not supposed to be bending a piece of metal, wrapping it around a bunch of human bodies, and then floating that across the ocean. That's supposed to be impossible. You hear me? But people who swear something's impossible should not be spending their time interrupting people that are doing it. What you have to remember is that you got 2 types of haters, right? You have haters that actually are jealous of you. And then you have haters that actually want to protect you. And it's important to know the difference, but it's important to see both of them. You hear me? You hear me? You hear me? I hope everybody understands this. I hope everybody gets it. Millionaires, you got to get to a place where you understand you got certain haters that love you. You know, I love bringing up that joint about Finding Nemo, where Nemo's pops always be like, you can't do it. You know what I mean? Don't leave this bowl. And what's ill about the world of nature, I'm always mentioning how, you know, it's curious. Like with a pot, if you don't take that plant, with a plant, if you don't take the plant out the pot, with a potted plant, with a potted plant, if you don't take that plant out the pot and put it in a bigger, that plant will stop growing. Does everybody know that? Or with a goldfish, if you don't go ahead and put that goldfish in a bigger tank, you know what happens? You know, the goldfish will stay the same size. Does everybody know this? Do you know you're the exact same way? So when Nemo's father's like, don't leave the goldfish, he's accidentally keeping his son hella small. Some of the haters in your life got to be ignored. They don't mean to hate on you. They're just trying to protect you from the fears that keeps them running in place. You don't have those fears though. And they haven't quite gotten to the level where nobody gets out alive. So you can't really trip. Let me tell you what you do. Instead of getting frustrated, you get compassionate about them and start to put more seriousness on your responsibility to show them what greatness looks like. But what you can't do is start accepting the naysayers and ignoring the constructive criticism. You know, it's a weird thing, man. The closer somebody is to you. It's this Drake lyric where he's like, I tell you the truth, you feel like you being attacked. That just comes with being attached. You know what I mean? You got to accept the constructive criticism and ignore the haters, because this world will trick you, okay, into loving the fake friends and kind of having disdain for the people that actually got your back. You got to do this with intention, y'all. It's crazy. What a world. All right, here's the last one I got for you. Hey, man, Latanya, this is the question of the day, right? Check it out. It's all about you using critical thinking. This last Kaizen Academy, we was just breaking down narcissism side of mental toughness and emotional IQ. But there's a whole other side of it where you understand these different biases you have. Like Queen, do you remember that class where we went over how you got a confirmation bias? Right? Confirmation bias just means that we're more apt to believe something if we already thought that anyway. That's confirmation bias. How you tell between the two kind of haters is you get rid of these biases. We got conviction bias. That's when we really find ourselves believing it because they seem so convicted. They seem so enthusiastic about the fact that this is how it goes. So we're like, oh, you know, that must. So imagine if a hater comes up and they tell you something about yourself you already kind of believe. Like that, like you kind of thought this was going to be hard. Now the hater comes up and that's conviction bias. You get what I mean? What you have to do is look at, is this constructive? Is this helping you or is this hurting you? Is this helping you be brave or is this keeping you in your comfort zone? That's how you tell the difference between them. Conviction bias or confirmation bias. And not conformity confirmation, but confirming, saying it's true. All right, we got to go do our affirmations, y'all. Here's number 20, and then we out of here. I hope this is helpful to somebody. Call in on a live line, a text message, call me to that same number, and it'll call you back. But number 20 should have been number 1 for me. Actually do something with the idea, y'all. Ideas are praised, but execution is worshipped. Number 10, execution is worshipped. Actually do something with your idea. $1 million idea is simply a good idea. You know, I was talking to my girl yesterday. We was talking about this one lady who, you know, 2 years ago, she had all these ideas. Now we got consumer finance. And I'm like, I know she got some kind of package. She need to know. She's like, she still ain't got. Listen, do something with your ideas. Time keeps on slipping, y'all, whether you do something with your ideas or not. You might as well let time slip while you getting bigger, while you getting better, while you getting stronger, while you getting smarter. All things happen 3 times though. Once in your mind, second on paper, and then all of us can see it. But you got to do something with it. $1 million idea is just a good idea on paper. Listen to me. Google started off on paper. Facebook, real simple idea. I'm going to connect. Google was like, I'm going to have an accurate search engine. That's 3 words, man. Or Google. It's like a website where friends can connect to each other. And really, it started off what? A website where college students could connect to each other. Everybody remember this? Neither of these companies were the first ones in their market. Neither of these ideas were all that groundbreaking, right? But what happens is, like I told you with that example with my man Earl to Pearl, you get together, you brainstorm with intention, and then God just starts sending it down. When 2 or more are gathered in purpose, right? Gathered in his name, right? And what's his name? God. And what's God? Goal over distraction. You hear me? All I'm saying is do something with it, y'all. Because a lot of times you're going to be better than everybody else just because you busting a move and all of them just keep talking about it. I'm not lying to you, right? I love y'all. Repeat after me. It's affirmation time. I am